Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Wow. I am telling you, today, the big dump truck of good content and material is backing up not only to you, but every one of you that are watching this on simulcast. Have you experienced the content dump truck this morning? Huh? Every one of these speakers. I'm back in the green room, and I'm working on some other projects I got to get done, and I'm just worthless on those projects because I keep listening to the speakers, and they're saying, man, they're good. Today it's this. That dump truck is coming right back to you. Are you catching it? Are you catching it? If you're not catching it, go home. Just go home. I've got so much content and so many good thoughts. IQ, I quit. I'm going to have that stuff in a book so fast. I'm on the phone to my publisher. I said, get the presses ready. This may be the fastest book I ever do. I'm just going to, at the end of the day, I'm going to send them a book. You know what I'm saying? And all that you gave, every speaker is killing it. Everyone. And I'm just saying, whoa. And so I want you to, I will give you credit in the book. I'll say that. You with me? I'll say, Stephen Pasha said, boy, I'll give you credit. I won't give you any royalties, okay? just understand, my love has limits, okay? But it's just been so good. And Becky introducing me, I literally, I know this lady. I had a year with her on the phone with her group. And I did not know her personally when we contracted to do the phone with her for her group. But as I went through the year with her, I kept saying, I got to meet this lady. This woman is solid. This woman's got it. She understands people. She understands life and success. And then we went out to California and met her, spoke to her group, and then of course, spoken to her for her organization. And I could be the president of her fan club. She's just so grounded and so solid and such a good leader. And I just feel that about as I've listened to you, I have been very impressed. Very impressed. I just want you to know that you're teaching the old man some stuff. You understand? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, this old dog's getting some today, okay? And I'm again indebted to you because you just really have added value to me. And let me just talk to the simulcast people for just a second. I know that there are literally thousands of you watching this right now. And I hope you're taking great notes. And I hope that you're getting that dump truck loaded on you and backing up and unloading on you. But I just want you to know we're so glad you're with us. And I want to encourage you. What you're seeing today, you can pass that on to others. There's a way to do it. Meredith is going to tell you about that later. But I'm just excited that you're here. Excited you're here. I'm ready to look. I would like to teach the law of consistency. Okay, let's just park here for a moment. And the law of consistency says motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. And I just think that I'm just going to tell you right now, of all the 15 laws, this one is the most significant to me. Okay. Now, it's the most significant to me for two reasons. One is because I'm doing it right now, okay? And whatever I'm doing, I'm in love with. Are you with me? But it's the most significant to me because I promise you, this is really has been the key to my success. Now, when you think of consistency, it's kind of a dull word, really. When you think of consistency, you say, "Oh my gosh." That's not very exciting. If somebody came up to you and sat down beside you and said, I just admire you so much. do you mind if we just talk? I would like to share with you some things that I admire greatly about you. And so they sit down and you say, oh my, this will be amazing. They're going to tell me what they admire about me. And so you sit down and then they say, the thing I admire most about you, and you're kind of anticipating what they're going to say. And they said, the thing I admire just the most about you is you're just so, oh my gosh, you're just, you are just so consistent. Is that it? You know, you were hoping for other words. You were thinking, boy, brilliant, charismatic. I mean, don't you have a list of words? And I promise you, if you give somebody a choice of 20 words that somebody can give you a tribute to, I will promise you consistent isn't on the top 20. Consistent is not a sexy word. Nothing exciting about consistent. And yet I absolutely love this word because I understand the value of this law. Let me just put it this way. Look at me, all paths to success have consistency in them. All paths. If you show me a person in any area that is highly successful, I will show you a person that absolutely understands and lives and practices the law of consistency. And yet, I've never heard a successful person, and I bet you haven't either, if they were interviewing and say, now, what's the secret of your success? I've never heard a successful person say, well, I think the reason I'm so successful is I have constantly, throughout my life, been inconsistent. I just have. Oh my gosh, I'm here for a while, and then I'm gone, and I'm up, and then I'm down, and I'm over and out, and I just, oh my gosh, yeah, I think the secret, Mike, is I'm just totally unpredictable, inconsistent, never can be depended on type person. And people love that. They just love that. And they love following me for 2 days. Because that's all they can follow me because they can't find me on the third. Yeah, they can't find me. I mean, they can't find me because, I just drop out. It's just, oh my gosh, I went 2 days straight. Whoa, how much do they want out of me? And you never heard somebody say, let me tell you what, I promise you, I quit my way to the top. I just quit my way to the top. Let me tell you something. Most people are not successful in your business, not because they don't lack opportunity, not because they lack talent, not because they lack support. They do not do well in this business because they don't understand you have to be consistent. And I think that there's a problem, and I think the problem is too many times we get too much flash. My name's John, I'm your friend, but I'm 69, I'm like a father to you. You got way too much hype and too much flash. You just kind of make me nervous when I get around you, to be honest with you. I just say, oh, God, I take a quiet pill. Kind of settle myself down because I know they're going to be jumping up and down an awful lot tonight, and I'm going to get dizzy watching them. See, if I was running a business like this, I would just flat out kill that stuff. I would look at my people and I'd say, it's not how high you jump that's going to determine your success in this business. It's how straight you walk when you come down. And I just want you to understand, you don't build a business on hype. You build a business on beautiful principles that'll change people's lives. And what's great is you got all the principles. You got all the stuff. You got all the goods, but you're in love with the bow and the paper. You just love the bow and the paper. And you just kind of say, oh, look, I like that paper. That looks, that bow, isn't that amazing? And you got all the goods on the inside. And when your people leave your conferences half the time, you know what? They see the bow and the paper. And they don't get the goods. They don't get the goods on the inside. So I'm going to give you the value of consistency. And this is just good stuff. Look at your neighbor and say, oh my God, this is good stuff. Tell them this is good stuff. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Okay, let's go. The value of consistency. Number one, consistency establishes your reputation. If you're consistent, you're going to have a solid reputation because you have done it so well for so long. I know what kind of reputation I have. I understand. I am right now just getting compounding interest off of a consistent lifestyle. And I understand people, how they see me, how they view me. They say, my gosh, the guy's as old as dirt. And he's been around since the beginning of creation. And all he's ever talked about is leadership. And that consistency is just as amazing. See, here's what I want you to understand. Anybody can be good once. Anybody can be good once. And what's amazing is a lot of people use that as a lifestyle. I was good once. In fact, when I did it, I was amazing. Haven't done it for 4 years, but I was good once. They remind me of Debbie Boone. Well, this is an old. I can't use these old illustrations on you. You're so young. Debbie Boone, Pat Boone's daughter, had a song called "You Light Up My Life." Do you remember that song? Huh? And I liked it. You light up my life. I mean, it's just kind of. But it's the only song she ever sang. It's the only one. Look it up. I mean, it's it. That's it. You light up my life. And you know, the first time I heard it, I thought, love the song. Second time I heard it, love the song. Third time I heard it, I said, like the song. After the 117th time I heard it, does she have another song? You know, go the other way. Turn the light out on my life. I don't care how you do it. Just you know what I'm talking about? She was good once. Once. Wow. I love sports. And, you know, when you go think of the Hall of Fame, I mean, the people in the Hall of Fame, they're in the Hall of Fame because they were good every day. No one's gotten the Hall of Fame because they had a good weekend. You know, even people that did something great in a game, like hit 3 or 4 home runs in a game, there are people that hit 4 home runs in a game. They're not in the Hall of Fame because they just did it once, and they didn't have a consistency to them. I mean, Cal Ripken, who played the most consecutive game, 2,622 or something like that, like 16 years of showing up every day. When I lived in San Diego, I was a San Diego Padre fan, and Tony Gwynn just was an amazing hitter, and I had first base tickets, and so when I go, I'd basically do business and watch baseball a little bit because, I mean, it is a little slow. Kind of like watching paint dry, but anyway. But Tony Gwynn was so consistent that when he got close to his 3,000, I was in Chicago doing a conference, and he was getting close to, he had like 2,998 hits, and I said, I want to go see his 3,000 hits, so I jumped on the plane, and I went to Montreal, and I got there the night that he got his 3,000th hit, and then he fouled the ball off in the next section over me, and I went over and gave a guy $100 for that baseball because I wanted to have the baseball in the game where he got his 3,000th hit. And how do you get 3,000 hits? Consistency. You see, what you have to understand about consistency is the reason so many people don't care for it is you don't get an award the first week for consistency. And see, what we do all the time with our people, what we do is we just flash stuff all the time and give them awards all the time and ribbons and pins and all this stuff. Kind of wears me out, to be honest with you. Just wears me out. I think, dear God, What if they ever do something great? What they'll give them? I mean, they give them all this stuff for all this little stuff. I mean, if they ever get good, what are they going to pass out? I had a person say, John, I just can't believe what you say sometimes. I said, you'd be much more surprised if you knew what I didn't say. Trust me, I speak very controlled a lot. I think, I would like to go. No, we won't go there. We won't go there. But consistency, it's just, what's powerful about it is it just establishes your reputation. In fact, I tell people now, and they always want to know, well, how do I introduce you? I said, if you don't mind, just say, John's here, and let me on the stage. I don't need an introduction. My life is my introduction. I don't need an introduction. That's why I tell people all the time, my name's John, I'm your friend. That's all I need. I don't have any titles. I don't have any positions. I don't have any offices. Don't want any of that stuff. Don't have a parking place. That all kind of stuff. That's just for immature people that did something once great and think they're amazing. Once you just do it every day, it's just life to you, and it's what you love, and you do it for the right reason, and you just do it every day, and you're not carried away with any of that foolishness. And my gosh, that takes time to get dressed up like that. And I'm just here to tell you that this consistency, once you understand the value of it, it's huge. Let me give you another thing. Consistency is a prerequisite to excellence. And no one has ever been great in their field without being excellent. And the only way that you can get excellent is to be consistent. Because excellence sets you apart from everyone else. Everyone else. It sets you apart. And once they understand that you're good and you're always good and you always deliver, there is something that just sets you apart. And the only way you can get excellent is to be consistent. And the reason I know that is because no one's good the first time. Nobody's good. I wasn't good the first time. You weren't good the first time. In fact, I wish more than if somebody said, John, what is your wish for people who see you now? I wish that there was a video of me when I was in my 20s starting out. And I wish you could hear me speak when I was in my 20s. I wish you could see my writing when I was in my 20s. I wish you could see me because if you could see me then, because I'm here to tell you, I wasn't any good. Honest to God, I'm not trying to be humble. I wasn't good. I was passionate, loved what I was doing. I was called, but I wasn't good. Because you're not good the first time. No one is. You didn't start, when you started talking, you just didn't one day, get up and start talking to your family. You just said, wah. I think the baby talked. Wah. Oh, yeah, that's a word. What is it? Wah. Only the grandparents can translate. When you started walking, you weren't any good. You didn't say, well, let's take a walk for a mile today. No, you walked a step, fell down, walked a step, fell down, got up, fell down, couldn't even walk a step. You see, nobody's good the first time. The only way that you're ever going to get excellent, the only way that you're ever going to get to that top in your profession is by being consistent, because it's consistency that allows you to get there. I can still remember sitting down a few years ago and working with a golf teacher, and I said, okay, I would really like to get to single digit in my handicap, and can you get me there? And I was so encouraged. He said, yeah, I can, John. I can get you there. But he says it's going to take you 2 hours a day for a year to get there. Now, you see, I wanted to be a single-digit handicapper. There was a problem. It was going to take 2 hours a day. Now, I gave that up. I don't have 2 hours a day because golf isn't where my life is supposed to be. I like to play. It's a hobby, but it's not a career. But you see what he said? He said, you can get there, but it's going to take 2 hours a day. When I play in the Pro-Am, in AT&T Pro-Am, with the professional golfers, we had an interesting conversation one day. We were talking, and one of the golfers said, John, do you know why the tournaments in the PGA have 4 rounds? I said, well, I've got ideas, but I think you got a better one. You tell me. He said if the tournament was only one round, every golfer that enters, every pro golfer that enters, could win. He said by the fact it goes 2 days, you eliminate half the golfers. When it goes 3 days, you eliminate another half. He said by the time you're at the fourth day, there's only about 25 to 30 maximum golfers out of 140, 150 that can win. What was he saying? The true champions have to play 4 good rounds. And anybody can have a good round. But the people that distinguish themselves and make a difference, they're the ones that can have 4 good rounds. Number 3, the third observation about consistency is consistency just provides security to others. There's something amazing about when you're consistent, how secure people are. I speak for companies, organizations every year. And the reason they do is they say, John, I'm having you back for 2 reasons. One is you're very consistent. We just know that when you get out and speak, you're going to deliver. You just deliver. You're the mailman. You bring it home. You're just going to deliver. You just hit home runs. That's what you do. Throw you out there, you're going to deliver. You're going to deliver. That's a great reputation to have. And then they say, secondly, you always have new content. You always have new material. It's not the you light up my life stuff. Now, you see what happens? That provides security for people. When somebody can look at you and say, can I tell you something? I can count on you. Do you know what it means to have on your team? Those people, I can just count on them. I can just count on them. Here was the challenge. Hey, they're going to do it. I can count on them. Maybe the greatest compliment you and I can have in life is somebody looking at us and with great integrity right in the eye and say, I can count on you. So it provides security. Number 4. Consistency reinforces your vision and your values. Because what leaders have is they have vision and they have values. And so we get out and we declare that vision. We get out and talk about our DNA, what our values are, the things about us. But so that's how we get our people to understand the culture. So we do that a lot. Now, you've heard me say before, the greatest motivational principle in the world is people do what people see. And that's a fact. Leadership is highly visual. Now, here's what I want you to know. It's true people do what people see. But people continue to do what people continue to see. Don't miss this one. People continue to do what people continue to see. And so people keep on doing what? What people keep on seeing. So if you want those values and that vision to really take hold of life, you just keep living it in front of them, and it becomes pretty amazing. And I learned many, many years ago, long-term consistency always trumps short-term intensity. So again, I watch these people, I'm going to go do it. Oh, I got the dream, and they're all intense, and I just, oh my God, I don't even want to talk to them for a month. But about a month later, I would like to talk to them. And I'd like to see if they still have that intensity. See, it's that consistency. It always trumps intensity. That's why the peaks of emotions don't really do much for me. It's like my mentor, John Wooden, used to say to his players, don't tell me what you're going to do. Show me what you're going to do. Just show me what you're going to do. And here's what I want you to know. If you are persistent, you will get it. But if you are consistent, you will keep it. Oh, there's a big difference. So if you're persistent, you can get it. And so what happens is our people get persistent and they go for it. Hey, I got it. So let's celebrate. So they got it because they were persistent, but you only get to keep it if you're consistent. There's a whole bunch of people that got it that don't keep it. There's a whole bunch of people that got there, but they don't have it now. Number 5, consistency compounds. It just compounds. Consistency has the ability to just get better. It's the best way to explain it is like putting money in investments. And when you put money in investments, the first week, the first month, the first year, it's no big deal. Basically, what you put in is what in there with just a little bit of interest, but nothing big. But what you know is if you just leave it alone, and year after year after year, and it gets 7 years, and that 7-year cycle, another 7 years, and another 7 years, and all of a sudden you've got a lot of money. You got a lot of money, but you got a lot of money because you kept the money in the investment. I know people They sow the seed one day and dig it up the next. I said, oh my gosh, I wonder what happened to my seed. I don't see anything. Get the spade, get the spade. Oh my gosh. They dig up that seed and say, oh, it looks just like yesterday. I thought I was going to get something out of this. Whoa, if I can't get a return in a week, what am I doing on this? I shared with you earlier that consistency is my key to success. I mean, think about it. I've been doing leadership since 1976. So when somebody said, you've been voted the number one leadership guru in the world and all this stuff about leadership and all these awards, and how did you get there? I said, well, it's very simple. I outlived everybody. You know, we all started together, and as they die, it's mine. I mean, I'm just hanging around doing the same thing. Leadership, somebody says, are you going to get a new gig? No, leadership works. It really does. It's doing okay for me. I love these people say, well, I love the people say, I've exhausted that area. You've exhausted that area? You just exhausted me with your shallow thinking. You haven't exhausted anything, friend, except your own work ethic. That's what's exhausted. So I've been doing leadership since 1976. I've been writing since 1979. Hello, I've done 100 and some books. Somebody asked me this, they said, oh, it's amazing. You've done over 100 books. Now, how did you get there? It's just very simple. Think about it. You have to be old. You can't do 100 and plus books if you aren't old. You just got to live a long time and write. I mean, there's no big secret to this. You just got to get old. You young people, you can't do 100 books. You're too young. You got to live a while and keep writing. Now, I love it. Becky talked about the rule of 5 and did such a phenomenal job on that. I have a rule of 5 for writing. And it just works for me. And people come to me all the time and they say, wow, man, how did you do this? Well, I've got a rule of 5 too. And I'm an author. That's why I have a rule of 5. You don't have to have a rule of 5 for writing, but I have one. Now, you understand the rule of 5, don't you? The rule of 5 says that if you have a tree in your backyard and you want to cut it down and you have an axe, that if you take the axe and you go over the tree and you just swing 5 times at that tree, just 5 times, okay? You put the axe down, you go back inside, next day, come back out, grab the same axe, go to the very same tree, and you swing just 5 times. Just 5 times at that tree, and you put the axe down. You go back inside, and the next day, you pick up the same axe, go to the very same tree, and you just swing. All you do is swing. Every time you just swing 5 times, you put the axe down. If you do that every day, pick up the axe, go to the tree, swing 5 times, put the axe down. What is eventually going to happen to that tree? Eventually, that tree is going to what? Absolutely. It's going to fall. I mean, you don't even have to debate this. Now, if it's a big tree, it may take 2 or 3 years. Smaller tree, maybe 2 or 3 months. So the size of the tree is going to kind of determine, how quickly it falls. But the thing it's going to fall. It's going to fall because you took an axe and you went to the same tree. Now, what I found out about a lot of people is they get bored with a tree. And so they go over there and they do 5 times for a couple of weeks, and they say, well, I don't see anything happening. And so they go over to another tree and say, oh my gosh, maybe this tree will fall a little faster. And they go over there and they do 5 times with that, and they go in, they do 5 times with that tree, and they go 5 times with that tree, and 5 times with this tree, and 5 times with this tree. And in about 2 years, what they got is a whole bunch of trees with scars. And that's the way most people's lives are. Their life is filled totally with scarred trees. And they wonder. And they just wonder, why am I not successful? Because there's no one who's ever said, man, love to look at scarred trees. Every day. Now, by the way, there are other people, they stay with the same tree, but they don't have the right resource. They don't have the right tool. So they go over to that tree, and every day they take a baseball bat. And the only thing that's going to happen is their hands are going to hurt. You see, that's why when people say, well, I'm working hard. Working hard doesn't impress me also. Don't even come by with that. Activity is not necessarily accomplishment. A lot of people, what they do is every day they take a baseball bat to a tree and wonder why it doesn't fall. So what I'm saying to you is consistency, which is extremely important. Consistency has to be also supplemented with the right priorities, with the right resources. Are you with me? So we're not just talking about being the same every day. You can sleep every day and be real consistent. I sleep 12 hours a day. You're not going to be successful there. But in writing, every day. Hey, every day I read. Every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Every day I read, think, file, ask questions, write. 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 Every day. And you say, no, excuse me, John, let me make sure I get this straight. What do you mean by every day? Okay, let me see if I can help you here. What I mean by every day is every day. What am I missing? You say, now, but I mean, every day like that sounds like every day. What do you do on your birthday? On my birthday, every birthday, guess what I do? I read, think, file, ask questions, right. How about Christmas? What do you do every Christmas? Every Christmas, read, think, file, ask questions, right. How about when you're on vacation? What do you do on vacation? Oh my gosh, while I'm on vacation, I read, think, file, ask questions, right. What do you do when you're sick? I read, think, file, ask questions, right. I do it every day. You say, my gosh, what a boring life. Yeah, it is. 27 million books boring. Yeah, it's boring. And by the way, the question I got to ask you is, what are you doing with your boring life? This is amazing. Once you begin to understand how this works, it just gets exciting. And speaking, my gosh, people say, okay, what is your secret to your communication? I mean, my gosh, John, you connect with people and that you speak to audiences of thousands like you're speaking to one. And you're up there, you're relaxed, you kind of hang around, sit on the bar stool, you got your bottle of water, you got your cough drop, you drink your water, you just don't seem to be nervous. I'm not. Please tell me, what's the secret? I gotta have the secret. The secret is, and the reason I am so stinking good at this, the secret is, I've done this 12,000 times. If I'm not good after 12,000 times, I chose the wrong career. Hello, 12,000 times. 12,000 times. What part of 12,000 times do you not understand? 12,000 times is 12,000 times. So people say, John, you just pause and walk away from your audience. How can you do that with such, security? Well, for the first 1,000 times, I was a little insecure. 12,000 times. What part of 12,000 times do you not understand? All my life, I've worked hard at being an overnight success. all my life. What really just incredibly thrills me is there are people in this auditorium, truly, people in this auditorium, I promise you, you're going to be here. You're going to be here. You just haven't lived long enough. You know, people says, you know, I feel kind of sorry for him. He's getting a little old. Oh, don't feel sorry. I wouldn't go back if I wanted to. I mean, if somebody say, you want to go back to 30s? No. 40s? No. 50? No. I like 69. I like 69 because I'm still learning, and I'm still growing, and I'm still seeing things happen that are just beyond me. And it's all a result of consistency. Once you find your gift, and once you start utilizing your gift for yourself and for others, just stay right there and don't go anywhere. Stay right there. Now I'm going to quickly, because my time is up, I'm going to quickly just say this for you, because I think that you've got to understand, you've got to be consistent, and you got to be consistent doing the right thing. So I'm not valuing consistency to the place where somebody can be consistent doing the wrong thing. If you're consistent doing the wrong thing, what you can be sure of is that you'll have bad results. So it's got to be the right thing. So here's what I want. I don't have time to teach this, so I'll just give this to you. I can just give it to you, and you're smart enough to teach yourself, are you not? Okay, so I'll just take it, and you kind of run with it. 3 questions. Do you know what you need to improve? You see, when I talk about consistency, you've got to know what you need to improve. And let me just say this. I'm going to tell you 2 things you need to focus on right now to improve and be consistent in. And that is, you want to improve yourself, and I'm talking about your choices now, your choices and your strengths, your abilities. And I would encourage you just to take one choice and one ability. Don't take a lot. And say, I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to start there. I'm going to be consistent in those 2 areas, because you got to know where you got to get good in. So, do you know what you need to improve? Is the first question. Number 2 is, do you know how you need to improve? How do I need to do this? And the answer that's very simple. You need to do this daily. It's just daily. Spend time every day. Just spend time every. As Becky said earlier, it could be an hour, it could be a few minutes, but you got to spend time. And then thirdly, do you know why you want to keep improving? And again, boy, I just loved how Becky closed up with it. You got to know your why. You got to, again, pictures of your children. You have no, but what's your why? What is your why out there? Because your why keeps you in the game. One of the things I'm really proud of is the team that I've been able to build in my companies. And we have 2 things that we really have going really well for us. I've got a lot of stability in my organizations. My personal assistant has been with me for 30 years. Charlie, who helps me write, has been with me over 20 years. Mark, my CEO, has been with me 17 years. David's been with me 18 years. I mean, I got people who've been with me a long time. But what really makes me proud is while we got all these people that have been there a long time, we got young superstars coming on all the time, too. What we don't do is make the mistake of, when you got a few people that are really good, we don't just stay with them. We got an inner circle, but we also are developing an outer circle. And I'm proud of them, because they're coming on and they're young superstars, and they're going to do really well for us. And one of those people is Meredith Sims, and Meredith has come on the team to help us do digital projects just like this, online courses just like this. And she has just added immeasurably to me and to our team already. She's only been with us like a year, and it's already, she's just putting fuel in our tank. You know what I'm saying? She's just helping us take on. And I'm just so proud of her. And unlike on this online course that she's developed for you, she's going to talk to you about a scholarship. And for every one of you, not only you here, but for every one of you on the simulcast. So I want you to listen to her. And by the way, I just also want you to know that this is just one of the 15 laws. Now, let me ask you a question. Did you like this law? Did this law work for you? Does this law work for you? Okay. I asked that question. I asked that question because if you like this law, guess what? There are 14 other ones. So look at your neighbor, even if you're on simulcast right now, look at your neighbor, if you're with somebody, and just say, there's 14 more to go. Would you tell them that? Would you tell them that, huh? There's 14 more to go if you like that one. So, thank you for having me. I hope you enjoyed the law. My name is John. I'm your friend, and I'm going to throw this over to Meredith right now. Thank you very much.